kind of new. I feel like eventually it'll shake out and everyone will kind of agree this is best. And the fact that both these players are doing pretty much the same thing might be an indication that we're heading that way. But we'll see. Rupees and bombs available at the tree. Bombs, pretty important early on. And DragonMaster is just killing things just for fun now. Did that green pickle really have to die? I don't think so. But nevertheless, he has bombs. Oh, we've got game sound. Nice. Bombs are very good when you don't have a sword. Good for fighting. Good for blowing open cracked walls. And there's plenty of those in Kakariko. And they hold precious treasure chests. So it is important to get bombs. If you can't get bombs, you want to get rupees so that you can buy bombs. And right now, Jet's got neither. He's pretty close to being able to afford bombs. And there's a couple different ways you can get them. There's a bush or like a row of bushes where you can have a pretty good chance of getting one. So we'll see what Jet has in mind. Tried to bait out the little birdie and didn't quite get it, but he is up with that 20 rupees hiding in the Lost Woods, up above that 50 count. So if he needs to buy bombs, he totally can. The Jet's going to be the first one to Kakariko. DragonMaster's been taking a lot of detours, pulling on trees, fighting a lot of enemies, throwing a lot of signs, and it's got him some extra rupees and some extra bombs, but he is definitely behind just in terms of covering locations. Jet finds a bottle and is able to go right across the street and deliver it straight to the sick kid. Doesn't have to worry about coming back for this later. Just a little piece of love. And green potion, not going to be too helpful for now, but who knows. If you get stuck in a Ganon fight and don't get torch glitch, you're going to be glad you found that delicious Mountain Dew. DragonMaster already has bombs, so he's going to be able to go and get the Moon Pearl and the flippers and the bombs. I went too deep. I got too greedy. He's going to get a lot of things out of Blind's Hut here, as Jet gets a totally different color of Kool-Aid in a nether bottle. Jet was able to buy bombs, so he is going to be able to head over to Blind's Hut. Not going to get locked out of missing those really good items. And just going to take him some time to get there. Players seeming to sync up here. They've checked different locations and have slightly different counts of rupees and bombs and things, but for now, they at least appear to be awfully close. DragonMaster picking up more rupees from underneath these pots. Jet opting not to, and there's 300 from the chest. So with that 300, DragonMaster actually really close to 500 now. Yeah, 472. So Zora being a potential early play here, and Jet having to pay for his bombs, not picking up as many rupees, could find himself short of being able to make such a play, could make a difference. Jet's turn to loot the Moon Pearl and flippers. DragonMaster retraces Jet's steps and gets that blue bottle. Jet's grabbing rupees now, he knows. Pretty close to 500, gonna be worth it to grab these now. DragonMaster probably excited to find the early bottle so close to Sick Kid, gonna be let down just a little bit. Bottle vendor gonna take away another 100 rupees, only a piece of heart there. And now with Kakariko mostly looted, we're going to be moving on. I think I'm joined here. Oh, I don't know.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure if you were going to be doing tracking or not. Everybody say hello to Dr. Bob Tastic. And then they all say hello.
All right, so here we are. 6 minutes into the seed, we've already got the Moon Pearl and the flippers and some bottles. Seems like a good initial setup to me.
Yeah, I missed the library during the commentator transition, but I don't know. Might have been good, might have been bad. Usually I count on chat for these things, but chat's a little on speed game 4. Lots of things happening. So I don't know. We might not be able to rely on chat to catch everything we miss. We might have to be extra diligent.
This is entirely possible. So, well, all right. So we're getting the hobo checked here.
Yeah, both players did escape the uncle part of escape. We got a book.
Hobo's got literacy today.
Then after escape, they went past Lumberjack and looted all of Kakariko. That's pretty much what you've missed. All of Lake Hylia is still a big question mark. Well, now we know some things.
It looks like we may have had DragonMaster trying to do the hula hand glitch and then realizing he has flippers. And that didn't work out. Yeah, I'm not sure why the hobo was sitting under that bridge with all that education, but, with the way the job market is today, a degree is not a guarantee of...
Yeah, that's right.
...of a hiring.
That was his college textbook, and he's like, oh, it's just worthless. I paid so much money for this. Now look at me.
Excellent.
Both players in the dam. Every now and then, despite their slightly different routes, they've synced up really nicely like this. Exiting the screen transitions at the same time. Not quite the same room, but still fun to look at. Gonna go ahead and grab those 20 rupees. Is looking pretty close to that 500 number for King Zora.
Yeah, getting that 500 is always going to be helpful, especially if you plan on heading up there. And with the flippers and the moon pearl, those are both of the reasons to head up there.
Absolutely. Not really anything to fight with, so we're going to be relying on bombs for mini Moldorms. Cooking the bomb a little too long is Jet. You want to cook it a little bit so that it explodes right when it lands, and you don't have to try to anticipate the incredibly random movements of the mini Moldorms, but gotta be careful you don't blow yourself up.
The bomb fight is possibly how this cave was intended to be done early on in the game by the developers. Now, of course, bow would also work, but they kind of neglected the fact that there's a little passage across the bottom that you can just walk across if you have a sword.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was not quite intended. Or maybe one of those things where they catch it and just go, it's cool, leave it in, who knows.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, this crab. The defensive game on this crab for DragonMaster was pretty strong. Crabs are very scary at this point. They deal 2 damage. Using the flippers to avoid some of the enemies is DragonMaster.
And crabs are not something you want to run into or contract in this game. So, we've got the piece of heart in Ice Rod Cave. So nothing good there. Both players going to check it.
I'm sure one of these players in their aquatic adventures swam by the Lake Hylia item, but I definitely missed it.
It's possible. DragonMaster is going to start swimming. Jet already checked the hobo and doesn't really feel like heading up to Zora yet because he's short a few rupees.
Yeah, DragonMaster was pulling on a lot of trees, killing a lot of extra things, checking a lot of extra places. Ended up with a couple extra blue rupees, and then also Jet had to pay for bombs, whereas DragonMaster was able to pull them off trees.
Like
Lake Hylia is a
bottle. Third bottle.
Yeah, that's. No, I had it. I was gonna say bonkers, and then I was like, it's bottle.
I'm just sitting here. Is this like major glitches mode, where you gotta have so many bottles to do anything?
Yeah, the Yuzuhara bottle adventure. Oh man, we actually gave him the wrong seed. Wow, Quake in the Agana cave. I was saying something smart before I started saying something stupid, and I can't remember what it was.
This is the 4th seed I've commentated in a row where something has been good in Agana's cave.
Wow, That's maybe more times than I've ever seen anything good
I
in
know,
Aghanor's Cave.
this is very strange. I had 2 fire rods, a sword upgrade, and Quake.
Desert Ledge gonna have something pretty useful. That early book has guided the players toward the desert, and it's gonna net them at least, well, likely at least a blue mail.
Yeah, when desert is available, it tends to have something, so you want to head in there as best you can.
Oh, I was explaining the rupee difference between the players. DragonMaster pulled out a couple bombs. Jet had to buy them. And that's the rupee discrepancy here that could lead to something pretty big. DragonMaster is here at Zora.
Yeah, DragonMaster pulled out just enough from the cave to get that Zora purchase. He's got 502.
Cutting it pretty close. The ledge has 50 more if he decides he wants, some in the bag for maybe Kiki.
Yeah. Kiki, chest game, digging game, just a few other places you gotta spend your money. And Zora just has a full heart. Not even the Sank heart.
So this play by DragonMaster not going so well. Jet's already out of desert. Got a boomerang for his troubles, so both players coming up a little dry.
A little empty. Now it looks like Jet is making the play on Eastern Palace. Eastern Palace, of course, notorious in version 27 for containing tons of items and not being able to be finished. There's the glove, the power glove, which is so bad.
It's so bad.
It is so bad. And it's also quite useful.
Yeah, it's early 90s definition of bad, which means good.
Of course.
And that's probably gonna open up that's like a Death Mountain play, but he's already here at no lamp, I guess. I don't know, maybe not Death Mountain, but sorry, heading into Eastern.
You could take Death Mountain. It'd be a gamble on account of a sequence break, but the lamp isn't always necessary, especially for runners of this caliber.
So I was talking about some of the differences between open mode, really just the one difference, but the lack of a sword leading to some interesting situations where, say, your main means of defending yourself is the boomerang. It's the only thing, was the example I threw out, and it seems like Jet's found himself in exactly that situation. He's got some bombs, sure. Quake can kind of disable some enemies, but it's really all about this boomerang.
By he's got some bombs, you mean he's got one. He's kind of low. But the boomerang will kill the Stalfos as well as the little wiggly guys. I guess they're Stall children, not Stalfos. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're definitely wiggly guys. You definitely got that one right.
What? There's the Titan's mitts!
Screw you, Power Glove. Obsolete. Yep. Wow.
The Power Glove is actually bad at this point. And that's going to give them Dark World access.
Yep, Moon Pearl, Titan's Mitts. You want to have the hammer as well for some of the...
Dude.
Oh, yes. The commentator's blessing.
Oh, we should totally have one of those.
Yeah, man. You're welcome, DragonMaster. Yeah, that's a 2 flavors of Dark World access now. Jet can pull up the Dark Rocks, whereas DragonMaster can hammer down the pegs, and so we could see some pretty different routes coming up. Dragon is not heading into Eastern, heading towards Desert.
Indeed. Okay, so Jet, of course, is dealing with some dark rooms right now. These are the Eastern Palace dark rooms, the first set, anyway. They're fairly simple to deal with.
Yeah, just a couple. I mean, without a sword, it's a little annoying. Thankfully, the boomerang is nice and sparkly. That's going to get him through okay.
The red boomerang with those lag sparkles, but who cares when it lets you see?
Yep, turns out sight, pretty useful thing. Jet doing a pretty good damage boost off the wiggly thing, gets a compass, knows he can't beat Armos, so not going to be able to obtain the final item of Eastern Palace.
Alrighty. I guess those are ropers.
I think that's the word for it. For whatever that is.
That's a guess.
A collection of animate ropes. Yeah. Jet's going down into the back half of escape here, so he is also going to find this hammer.
And we're going to say goodbye to the requirement for Aghanim.
That's right. Hopefully we don't say goodbye to DragonMaster. He's missing out on these Titans mitts that Jet has. And that can be really big.
I imagine the Eastern play will be something he makes pretty soon.
I think you're right.
Though first
Death Mountain.
First, he's going to get that Quake medallion.
Yeah, also probably wants that. I mean, it's hard to say. I think it's like a 50% chance that any given medallion will be required. Well, required to enter a dungeon. I don't think that factors in the fact that the dungeon may not have a crystal.
Let me get the math on that for a second.
Yeah. Calculator.exe.
Should be 5 out of 9, I think.
Oh, I think you're right. I think it's not quite 50-50.
Because the chance of it not being there at each spot is 2/3.
And then you multiply across.
Subtract from 1.
And then 1 minus. Yeah, you're right. It checks out.
So, for those of you who were expecting high level mathematics, that was not quite high, but it was close.
No, that's not bad. Definitely the pinnacle of what I'm capable of.
Looks like we've got a pendant at Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock.
I don't know. I don't know if we've found a replacement tracker. I don't know if Clifford is the one doing it, or if you're doing. I don't know. But things are being updated.
We didn't have a tracker going.
Well, they've got the hammers are there.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see if some of these question marks.
I saw the map check. I saw a pendant at Swamp, and I think Turtle Rock was the remaining one.
Yeah, that seemed right to me. DragonMaster also heading into the Dark World, so not going to be making that Eastern play just yet.
I find open mode seeds are quite exciting when they go swordless for a long time.
Oh, we do have a tracker. Dustsen is running the tracker for us, so
Excellent.
Thanks very much to him.
Thank you so much, Dustsen. I don't know what we'd do without you.
Yeah, we'd be like, well, the players are pretty even. Maybe. I don't know.
It's like, I forgot what things we're doing. Well, this is what happens when I talk about swordless. We pick up a sword in Thieves Town.
Jet's like, great, say it again. Master, tempered, I'll go all the way.
Yeah, you will take any sword you can get your hands on in this seed.
Able to actually fight things.
Meanwhile, DragonMaster taking the current meme choice and going to Skullwoods, because this is version 26, so that's what you do.
Yeah, I think this was a play that was based in solid logic, and then at some point, like you said, it's just transcended it to become a kind of mantra / meme that maybe people are following a little more than they should. I don't know. DragonMaster taking a death here to some of these mummies.
I think the actual probability of there being an item in Skullwoods that you need is somewhere in the 30 range, but it's really, it's not that slow to do, and it's quite useful.
And usually when you're going to the Dark World, you're going from that Kakariko portal, and usually Skullwoods is right there.
I bet somebody has the actual numbers on that and can tell me what how badly I'm talking out of my rear end.
I mean, you threw out that 30 number, and I was like, wow. Like, yeah, it's good to have that kind of number to say as a commentator. Wish I had such numbers.
Oh, it's a wild guess, to be honest. I think I've heard anywhere from 26 to 50, and so I was just picking a good estimate.
Well,
I
Jet's.
believe the ice rod just happened.
Yep, Jet's got it. He's found it in Thieves Town. He came in here without a sword and green mail and 6 hearts. And along the way, he found the sword. He's earned this ice rod, which is probably not required. Pretty sure we saw that pendant in Turtle Rock.
Luckily, he does have the hammer coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
Check this chest. It's just a piece of heart.
That Thieves Town big chest can weigh on your mind if you come in here without that hammer and you find out that it has an item.
Yep, had a lot of seeds recently where that came back to bite somebody. Yep. So red pendant at Thieves Town. I mean, not Thieves Town, Turtle Rock, and blue pendant at Swamp. So we could be looking at another mirrorless seed.
Oh yeah. Never really thought about it, but you're right. I haven't. You said another mirrorless seed.
Oh, yeah,
There's
the
been one.
The one I just finished commentating found mirror in Ganon's tower.
Nice. Okay, Jet's was pretty low on health there. Do you
Jet's
take
pretty
2
skilled
hearts?
Enough.
He's very, very skilled execution-wise.
You take 2 hearts from hitting the heads themselves.
That's it.
It's a flat 1, no matter what your mail is, from the fireballs, and then the lasers will do 2, but that gets reduced by mail.
Yeah. So early on, you're scared of touching things, and later on, you're scared of the fireballs because they're going right through your mail. But either way, there's not too much to be scared of with the blind fight, especially when you're as experienced as Jet is. The fight can be done sort of on a script. You do the same thing, he'll do the same thing, and as long as you stick to it, it can go by pretty smooth.
I imagine DragonMaster will also have a pretty good time with that fight, on account of having the blue mail.
Yeah, that's right. He's grabbed this from Desert Palace up on the ledge. Then Jet didn't. Jet left Desert pretty quickly after finding the boomerang.
Indeed. So, yeah, DragonMaster going to be opening Thieves Town, and Jet is going to be messing with the Peg Cave. Oh yeah,
yeah.
You hate to see a bootless Peg Cave. It's
yeah. Look at the 1 2 1 2 1 2. Just working on the chain gang here. Jet finally opens the way. He's opting to do these overworld locations over Skullwoods, so pretty big difference there.
Yeah, there are more items to the south right now, if you consider Hype Cave as part of that route. Now, Hype Cave, of course, not really living up to its name lately.
Yep, I've heard Tripe Cave, Gripe Cave. There's one that I don't even want to repeat.
Yeah, I like Tripe Cave. It's a pretty good descriptor.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. We'll see what kind of digging game Jet is gonna get.
Yeah, you could also call it the Resident Sleeper Cave. All right, so red rupee there at the digging game after about looked like 12 digs to me. Wasn't really counting.
Believe it or not, actually not that important, despite what people might have you believe. Don't think Dungeon Master has his sword yet, so he's down to 2 hearts here in Thieves Town.
No, he's got the sword.
He does? He's just opting to...
It was in the big key chest.
Yeah, I remember Jet swinging it when he was in that hallway, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
So there was J.R. Stumpsman over there. Didn't quite see what he had, but I think somebody would have made a big deal about it if there was.
I think
Just
you're
a
right.
Big 20.
So Jet's got he's got no mirror. We might never see a mirror, like we said. So he's going to be moving on past some of the locations like the Ring of Flowers, and going to be moving on. What kind of cave are we going to get ducking inside just before getting hit in the back? He's got 2 hearts, so that might have actually. Well, maybe he's got more than that. Nope, not the scent cart, but still nice to tuck
There's
in
the
the back pocket.
Bombos medallion and the cane of Brian. So
It's-
a whole lot of stuff.
It's not nothing, but it's also not really something.
Yeah, the Bombos medallion does technically give them access to Ice Palace.
That's true. That is all right. Yeah, I'm gonna say that cave definitely had something. I wouldn't
and of course,
call it
I
hype.
like the cane of Brian because I'm bad.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think like, oh man, you know, you find yourself in a lot of weird situations in this game. Sometimes like, only fighter sword, no sword, low on hearts, low on mail. You'd think the ability to turn invincible and hit things would be a kind of a prized possession, but it turns out it's really unwieldy and slow, and it lags the game a lot. So when you're trying to go fast, yeah. So you generally don't want to use it. Or let's say
whoa! Is that the hook shot?
Oh, it is.
It's the hook shot on the pyramid. When's the last time you seen a good item on the pyramid?
Yeah, last tournament I think it was actually.
All right.
Version 8.
Version 18 there. That was there was tons of pyramid stuff there. It was an extremely high value location in 18.
Yeah, it made Aghanim actually like pretty common that people would do it just to get to the one pyramid item. So we've got the hook shot, opening up new possibilities.
It looks like Jet is making the play on catfish.
This is what's it? Oh, he had no mirror, so he can't like go check out Zora afterwards or anything.
So, I mean, this is about as good as catfish is ever gonna get.
We'll see what it has. So what do you think has led to Jet favoring these Dark World overworld locations?
Hey, half magic.
That ain't bad. Over something like Skull Woods, or well, what does he even have access to at this point?
Yeah, well, Skull Woods is the only other possibility, and at this point, it's not going to be that great. I mean, you could go check 3 chests and pod. 3 is all you could have at this point without the bow.
Ooh, down to 1 heart. DragonMaster pulls out the cape, and
that's a good call.
Also low on magic, so he's going to switch to the blue potion. And I think that's going to be enough to get him through this fight. The blind crosses, and it's harder to hit him at the top of the screen. 3 hearts left. He could have switched to the cape again if he needed it, but he doesn't.
All right, so DragonMaster makes his blind fight happen. While Jet heads down into the escape.
See if he finds something that will maybe take him up Death Mountain, I think is what he would really like to see. Which I guess is just the lamp, really, in terms of the logic getting you up there.
Lamp or flute?
Flute, yes.
Will get you there as well. There's some interplay there if you do the sequence breaks, where if you find a lamp or a flute somewhere along the way, you can rule out locations based on the sequence break. But that's too advanced for commentary, I think.
Yeah, you could maybe do it if there was some downtime, which maybe we're heading towards.
Yeah.
Dragon's about to check all the places that Jet's already done on the overworld, but I think Jet is probably going to continue to explore some new places for us.
Jet has neither player has done what Jet is doing right now. Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, fighting the. Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh, that's That's a pretty out of the way green rupee.
Yep. Jet also, I was gonna say Jet's like, oh, he's in danger fighting the ball and chain guard, but no, he's setting up the death warp because they don't have the mirror.
Yeah. And it looks like Jet is going to be going for the dark room chest.
All right, heading in lampless. No light world, light cones without the lamp.
So if you
Escape also different, like special, right?
If you were going to rate these dark rooms, where would you put this dark room?
It's no Misery Mire.
It's not Misery Mire, but I think it's harder than, say, like the Turtle Rock dark room. I think it's probably easier than the Dark Maze. Going in from the back, you have to find that rat and kill it to get the key, so that's a little bit tricky. And then, of course, feeling around until you find the actual chest here.
So that rat, like it's gonna be in the.
It starts in the bottom left.
Bottom
corner,
left, right? Yeah. And then it goes kind of one of two ways. I think it goes up or right. But if you miss it, I feel like that thing could.
Yeah, it goes all over the place.
Yeah, like that's kind of a scary situation. So if done well, this can be not so bad, but has the potential to be very punishing.
Thinking of the Ice Palace play at this point.
They have that Bombos, and honestly, they don't have a whole lot else. Like they can go up Death Mountain, but the logic's not going to put the next progression item up there. They've got flippers and hookshot, but no mirror, so not swamp yet.
So it looks like Jet is going to make the play on Death Mountain, which makes a whole lot of sense at this point.
Yeah, it's he's technically sequence breaking here, but there's just way too many locations up on Death Mountain considering all the other places he's checked so far.
Yeah, and I mean at this point his options are the front end of Skull Woods, Ice Palace, and this.
The entirety of Death Mountain, or Fighter Sword,
or
the Ice Palace.
The very front of Pod is another play.
Yeah, we could, I don't know, maybe we'll see something really trolly. But I think
you could see something like Mirror in the first chest in Pod, which would do weird things to the logic. But there you go. So
well,
just
old man's not gonna happen.
Old man. A little bit of old man love today.
Just a little.
Just a little.
As Jet continues up Death Mountain, the cabbage is playing nicely, so he's still sitting pretty healthy.
That was... I don't think I've ever seen the cabbages be that nice.
They were barely on screen.
Exactly. We got 50 rupees on top of Spectacle Rock, and inside Spectacle Rock we have 20 rupees.
So there's at least there's nothing tantalizing up there that he can't quite reach.
Now this, all right. So he's not going to make the play on the Spike Cave immediately, which makes plenty of sense. He's going to head over to the east side. The Spike Cave is the one reason that the logic might expect you to have the Cane of Brian.
The one, yeah, I guess. Someone said something about the spikes and mire, and I was like, no.
Mire, another possibility, yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes. They set up the logic now where you are not forced to take damage at any point. They do that for Oko mode, right?
Right. Well, there you go. Probably doesn't have to worry too much about... I mean, he's got the cape anyway. Cape kind of the superior option. In most cases, actually remove sprites rather than adds them.
Right. The only downside with the cape in the actual Spike Cave is that it drains your magic twice as fast.
Yeah, if you're
second shield, the bug net. Oh, just a whole lot of squat in the Paradox Cave today.
Yep. Those are items. They light up on the tracker. They show up, on Link's character, but like not really doing
closer to winning the game.
Though I will say that fireball, block, and shield can be pretty nice.
Yeah.
In
I do love me a fire shield.
Squirrel's going to be playing nice. I missed the Lake Hylia item. Or not the Lake Hylia, the island item. I always miss it. It looked blue, maybe bombs.
Yeah, I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I think I would have noticed if it was something great.
So probably bad bombs.
Yeah,
it was bombs. I should just trust my instincts.
I have the internal logic that's just sitting there like, don't pay attention to that. It doesn't matter. You could turn anti-fairies into fairies. The magic powder on the
ether tablet. So like we could see like sword upgrades somewhere, come back and get powder, and then
magic bat or something dumb.
Well, we'll see. Just a compass here in the first bit of Hera that Jet is heading into, which is a really
chest away from finding if we need to go to the tile room, and we do.
All right.
And no fire source at the moment, so Jet is.
He's leaving. He's like, screw that. Yeah.
Well,
you're right. Yeah. Nothing more he can do. No lantern, which the game expects him to have at this point.
Yes.
So
either that or the flute, but it's kind of up there. Now he's gonna head down to the spiral cave, and then on the way, once he heads down, the Titan's Mitts are gonna give him access to the dark Death Mountain, where there will be even more glorious trolling.
So saith Dr. Bob. We'll see. I mean,
I don't have
something's
a
got to
PhD
give.
for nothing, folks.
I've brought horrible tragedies upon many people. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, something's got to be up here.
There's a
That's
bottle.
The fourth bottle location.
We know the other one's on the Lake Hylia Island, so if somebody really wants that bottle, they can go get it.
Someone just wants the full tracker.
All right, inside here, heading to the Dark World.
DragonMaster still missing those Titan's Mitts, and it looks like he might be heading towards Death Mountain. So once he gets up there,
that's going to be unfortunate.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do this Dark World play that Jet's doing. Jet using the hook shot to clip through a block. While blocks are moving, they sort of inherit different properties. You can use the mirror to just delete them, and the hook shot will travel and pull you across them. So clever block pulling can save a bit of time there.
In the code, the block actually sort of disappears during the animation. And so if you cut that off, it just stays disappeared with the mirror. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think it's like a background object, and then when you push, it's just a sprite.
That's right.
So we've got access to Hookshot Cave, actually. So Jet's going to go check the Turtle Rock Medallion. It's Ether, the one he doesn't have.
But that is a pendant dungeon, so he may not even have to go in there. Though, of course, if it's Turtle Rock as a pendant, we all know that means you have to go in there in 26, right?
Yeah. The lamp and the fire rod are both in Turtle Rock, actually. Turns out.
Yeah. And the cane. Wait, no, cane can't be there.
That'd be something.
Dang. So all these items here that you could have gotten on Death Mountain, turns out just a giant bust.
Yeah, not a single bit of progression to be found up there. We were talking about the different plays that were available to Jet, and we laughed at how silly something like an Ice Palace play or like Pod. We're like, no, Death Mountain is definitely the thing to do here. And here we are, Jet's swimming.
Speaking of an Ice Palace play,
just kidding.
Oh, he's now got 500 rupees finally, so he can go up to Zora. The other thing is he didn't check the Spike Cave while he was up there. That's the one thing he missed. That he had.
That's a chance for DragonMaster to find an edge here. He's
and
gonna be pretty far behind when he doesn't get to Dark World Death Mountain. Oh wait, that means. Wait, no, the portal's there. He can do Spike Cave.
The Spike Cave is the one thing in Dark World Death Mountain that DragonMaster can do.
Yeah. So that alone might, cause him to want to go check it out. Who knows? You never really want to go to Spike Cave, but it might be enough to lure him in there, and maybe it's got something that will give him the edge over Jet, because Jet having these Titan mitts is already going to be saving time in DragonMaster's first Death Mountain trip, and it's only going to continue saving time over the course of the run until DragonMaster finally finds it.
So when Zora gives you a heart container, can we call it a love lesson?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Great. We've got a lesson in love. Isn't that like a title or a song lyric or something?
Something like that.
It rings out to me. So Jet did Zora, found out nothing like we knew. And now going back down.
Ice Palace play.
Here we go. And so if it's not here, what are there's like one or couple chests in pod depending on where the keys are? What else is there even to check?
Yeah. I mean, you could have checked that Spike Cave, but it's still out of the logic, so.
That's right. So I think odds are pretty good we're going to find something here, which is already pretty trolly.
Yeah. I mean, Ice Palace has been kind of a big deal recently. It's very accessible early on, especially when you've got something like the mitts and the hook shot. That's going to leave the thing wide open.
Jet's gonna find a big key first.
Yep. So that'll be pretty good.
DragonMaster heading up to Hera. He's going to be disappointed, and then afterwards, well, no, he's going to hammer and go to the east side. But not going into Hera. Did he already go? Did I miss the whole thing? Huh.
Yeah, it's possible.
We wouldn't rule it out.
Focusing on Ice Palace.
Yeah. I'm totally capable of missing an entire dungeon. I acknowledge that. He already went into Hera. Oh, we blew it. We blew it.
We done blew it.
It is a very fast trip into Hera, though. You check the bottom, you check the key, and you're out. So
yeah,
let's not be too hard on ourselves. As Jet is setting up for the bomb jump, he's got 5 bombs and 7 hearts, but it's also this is Jet, so this Ice Palace bomb jump is so handy. And so easy once you've like really practiced and learned the cues that I'm anticipating the first try.
It turns out it's not that bad. I haven't been doing this for very long, but that's basically the first thing I learned because it saves so much time.
Yeah, I used to do a little bit of a series to fill time.
Looks like DragonMaster may actually be making the play on Spike Cave.
All right, this could be juicy. I did a series called Let's Learn to fill time on the Speed Gaming channels, and I was able to do the Ice Palace bomb jump within like 10 minutes or something, like to get it once at least. Like, yeah, it's really not that hard as long as you got a good teacher. All right, DragonMaster into the Dark World, dropping down. I mean, it's either Ice Palace or Spike Cave. Probably.
I mean, it's definitely Ice Palace. Because, I mean, we're out of options at this point.
Oh, yeah, the logic, yeah.
But it could also be something really good in Spike Cave, like, I don't know, the bow or something.
Here we go. Oh.
Just 100 rupees, and that's gonna do it for the Spike Cave dream.
Yeah, that's a really big chance for DragonMaster that just went up in smoke there. He really needs those Titan's mitts.
It went the way of Cheech and Chong, and sorry.
Couldn't even bring himself to finish it.
I can't finish that sentence.
It's
that bad.
His Jet he hasn't found whatever is here yet. dug through a good chunk of Ice Palace. DragonMaster is heading to
I've seen a
Pod?
single item even. There's the lamp!
Okay.
The lamp is there. The sequence break is no longer real.
And Tower of Hera basement?
Yep.
Now an option?
Basement is an option.
Desert Palace?
Yep. The back end of Desert is also a possibility.
So we'll see. Still a narrow list of options for Jet. We'll see what he decides as he finally gets out of Ice Palace. I mean, this is... Wait, is this a pendant? My tracker's so small, I can't quite...
No,
it's
Ice
a special
Palace
crystal.
Is the one of 5 or 6, just like it is in the vanilla game. Now, Jet's going to hashtag that one chest, and then moving on. And DragonMaster, on the other hand, is finally going to pick up his Titan minutes momentarily. And frustration slashes for days.
All right, so where does he go with these Titan mitts? Jet was already there on Death Mountain when he made the decision to go. Does DragonMaster head all the way back up there with his newfound strength?
He may make the Ice Palace play. Ooh, mushroom in the big chest in Ice Palace. So
it wasn't the lamp that has the progress. It's the mushroom. The lamp, the Hera basement, nothing. It's gonna be the mushroom that leads to the shovel.
Hera basement is big key, so
yeah. But then after,
there is progress there, but just guaranteed to be Tower of Hera progress. All right, Jet's gonna jump down into the Cold Stare Creamery here. And
yeah, this is he's got half magic, but he's just got Bombos. He's got the Ice Rod, not really gonna help. So he's the Fighter Sword, Cold Stare Fight, Green Mail.
He does have the hammer.
Hammer, of course, does tempered sword damage, but it's not going to let you do sword spins. It's not going to let you control these guys, so they immediately break loose from the corner and reduce him down to 2 hearts. Blue Potion going to heal him back up, and he needs to play very safe from here on out. He's got the cape, I guess, if he wants to go that route. I definitely would at this point, down to 4 hearts. I think he gets bodied 2 now.
Does the Cane of Burna damage them?
It might. He's gonna do something. Oh, barely getting out of the corner. Refuses to use one of his safety items. Oh, you gotta do something now, buddy. Look at the pause buffering. Oh, threads the needle. Are you serious? Jet is putting on a show, dancing around with Cold Stare. He has this cape and half magic, and he just doesn't. Oh, I don't know what is going through his mind, but he's making it work.
There's one body down.
Maybe he just doesn't want to interrupt the flow, the lightning surging through his body. He can do anything. Oh no! The commentator giveth, the commentator taketh away.
So close.
Oh, that would have been
maybe
amazing.
He just figured I've got the lamp. I can go someplace else after this. Let's do that later.
So he's gonna have to put that out of his mind now.
Safeties, DragonMaster picking up a potion in the shop before heading down to what looks like the Ice Palace play.
Yeah, he's not going in that whirlpool. He's already done that, so he's not going to trick us. He's going in, and this extra potion could very well be the difference. He could be thinking ahead, knowing that, you know what, if I have to fight Cold Stare and I don't find something like the Fire Rod or another sword upgrade, I'm going to have trouble. So knowledge of his limits, I guess, and some foresight could prove to be a really big advantage here for him.
Okay, so DragonMaster making his way into the Ice Palace, whereas Jet is going to turn in that mushroom. We're going to see if that was an actual item or not.
It's going to be just
a big 20. And Jet might be heading back up to no sanctuary, looks like. And Jet will probably be making the Skull Woods play now. That's my guess.
Yep, he's left that undone. It's been one of the things that DragonMaster has had over Jet this whole time. A lot of that. Oh, the button. Okay. The button just like blends right into the background when I got the window so small. But yeah, like DragonMaster's been a little bit behind Jet for a while, but the fact that he's already been to at least some of Skullwoods is where he's going to start making up some of this time back just a little bit. Still a lot of Ice Palace left compared to Skullwoods, though.
So yeah, Pod is an interesting idea, but without the bow, there's only 3 chests in there that you can get, because Pod is so front-loaded with keys because of the key logic. It's one of those things we like to call it the Palace of Mullets.
Why would they call it that?
Because it's business in the front and party in the back.
Oh! I love it. All right. We're doing a bomb jump here. Second try for DragonMaster, which is good because he's down to 3.5 hearts here.
If there's one thing I'm going to provide to this tournament, it's the meme of Palace of Mullets.
It's meme worthy. Well, it doesn't really roll off the tongue, so I don't. If it rhymed, like it'd be top 10.
I tried to do like Mullet of Darkness was another thing I tried.
That's the name of my metal ska band, actually.
Oh, nice. Very nice. All right, so Jet's going to do a bomb jump while DragonMaster is also doing a bomb jump. DragonMaster looks like he accidentally fired his hookshot the wrong direction.
Yeah, I was just thinking, wait, off. How do you...
Yeah, he accidentally fired his hookshot into those crystal switch blocks, and you could hook onto those. So
yeah,
he fell in the hole.
Speaking of falling to the hole, Jet into Skullwoods here. Still no mirror, so I think he's setting up a death warp here. Maybe didn't want to even pick up that heart.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't want to finish off that bomb jump in the front part. He tried it a couple times, didn't work out for him.
So he's going around the long way.
There's the blue ruby.
Hookshotting on the off-screen statue to pull himself across.
Yep. That switch does some weird things to the camera.
Yeah, for sure. We got DragonMaster making his way through some more of Ice Palace. Possible to push this block and do another clip. There it is.
Yep. So that's another little trick. Here's something I recommend. Don't try to use the mirror to delete blocks that are in dungeons. Don't do that.
Game definitely prioritizes the unique return to entrance feature of the mirror over any sort of block deleting shenanigans, so you will find yourself very sad.
Yeah, the only place you can use the mirror for that is in a place where the mirror has no other function.
Yep, you need that. That's the sound of block deletion.
That is the technical term for it. Is the
Yep. Yeah, you need to do the intonation and everything. It's like Mandarin.
I think it's actually slightly higher pitched.
You're right. My block is it's a little rusty these days. I did a semester in Blockonia.
I've heard it both ways. I don't know why that caught so hard, but
no, that's pretty good. Jet with his lamp, and yeah, basically, I think a lamp is the only thing he has that he didn't have before the last time he was here.
So the logic here is pretty linear. It's like you're gonna get all these things, and then there is one place you're gonna be able to go. You're gonna get the lamp, and then you're gonna go to Tower of Hera because that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah, and then he's gonna come out of here, and I'm gonna say Tower is gonna give him Master Sword so that he can get the powder, so that he can go to Magic Bat.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so Jet's gonna be able to take a little break here. Assuming he wants to.
Yeah, we'll see.
Dance around for no reason.
He's out of pots now. He's got. You can switch to the boomerang if he wants to waste time to give himself a break, but instead he's actually working the thumb quite a bit. If you ask me, games where you're moving around a lot with the D-pad constantly in this game, and I feel like it can actually kind of wear on the thumb a little bit. So to actually take this opportunity to put more stress on his thumb says a little bit of where he's at. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So another thing is he did have the ice rod there, so he could have used that. That's probably what I would have used to do it. Of course, I'm just bad, so.
It's got a slow enough projectile that it gives you enough time to get on top of that peg and get those iframes. I mean, you can hang out on top of that peg for a little bit, and then... And either way, he didn't have to do all those crazy wiggles with his D-pad thumb.
Well, he's just giving us a good show. That's what we're here to see.
My thumb would be aching after that cold stare fight. I wonder if he's still thinking about that, maybe.
Yeah, cold stare is still a possibility, and we're going to get to see it pretty shortly.
DragonMaster's like, just kidding, I'm going over here and hitting this switch and skulls for things.
Yeah, he's getting a little more magic.
Oh, need to redo the skull. Now the jellyfish is coming. Get out of here.
Oh, there's the Master Sword!
Oh, I called it.
Oh!
All right. Well, it could also give them something else.
Done.
I don't know. But, yeah, of all the progression items available, I feel like it's pretty slim odds it was Master Sword, but there it is.
And the fire
just kidding.
rod!
Wow. All right. Our linear seed just got divided.
Oh, yeah. So this, my friends, this is where all the value is, in the Tower of Hera. This is not one of those seeds where you can save Tower of Hera for right before Ganon's Tower. No, sir.
Nope.
So now DragonMaster going to be doing the Fighter Sword Cold Stare fight.
Yeah, the hammer does a lot more damage, but it's a lot harder to use. The hitbox on the spin is quite big, keeps you very safe, whereas the hammer has this big wind-up. It's pretty dumb and slow. So opting to play it much safer than Jet did. But then again, this also means the fight goes on longer, which means you need to dodge for longer because you still take a whole bunch of damage if you touch
one. So both players now take a death to Cold Stare. And both players make the same decision to get out.
Yeah, I thought maybe the extra potion in the back pocket would do it, but DragonMaster, I guess, just didn't expect the 3 hearts. Yeah. Blue mail's 3 hearts from those, right?
I think it's 3. But 3 sounds right.
4 then 3 then 2.
Yeah, it's either 3 or 2. I know it. I think it's 4 with green. So,
Ether Tablet, what's it got? Powder, we knew that.
Yep.
Forgot, but we knew that. It's got the powder.
Yeah, so we could be seeing him head over to the Magic Bat sometime soon. He's going to make the play on Spike Cave now that he didn't make before. We know that's just going to be 100 rupees. Whereas DragonMaster is now making the play on Dark Death Mountain, which will once again yield a whole lot of diddly.
Yeah, it's like the net, and no, he's already got that. It's
I think whole lot
just
of
nothing. Just some rupees. Jet down to 1 when he uses the cape.
That's the optimal time to use it.
Save and quit is gonna refill some of that. We'll see where he's going now. Fire Rod in Master Sword.
Yeah, I feel like a trip over to the Kakariko Village area would be pretty good. You could knock out the Magic Bat while you're there, and then head up to Skull Woods to finish it off.
Seems pretty solid. That's
just
where Jet
out there.
Yeah, Jet seems to agree. He's heading that way. DragonMaster taking his newfound lamp up to Tower of Hera as well.
Oh, I think we might be seeing a pedestal check.
Yeah, I can't think of any other reason to go up this far here in the Lost Woods. Jet prioritizing the pedestal check.
Absolutely. No mirror means you're not going to get it out of Skull Woods unless, of course, you find the
Oh,
mirror. And
right.
and the pedestal check I find is a great idea because knowing is better than not knowing, and now we know.
Now we know it's nothing, just couch cash. Yeah, the pedestal's a weird thing. Like, it's a lot of time, and it's incredibly slim odds that something is there. But if something is there, and you know it, and your opponent does it, it can be a game-winning move. So, like, the chances of it happening versus the incredible value of going there, it makes it a really tough call. So Jet is now going to be heading into Skull Woods, still lacking that mirror, like he pointed out. So it's a little clunky, but getting it done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not doing the magic bat like I thought he might, but that's understandable. Magic bat's a low percentage play anyway.
DragonMaster having some trouble with the buzzy beetles, getting knocked around. Blue Mail's going to bail him out though.
Mm-hmm. So Jet gonna make his way through the back end of Skull Woods, pick up this key here to facilitate his entrance into Mothila's lair.
Fire Rod out to blow open this whatever it is that blocks your way here in Skull Woods.
I do feel like the play is go straight to Mothila, and if no item happens, then come back and get the chest.
Yeah, if it's a crystal,
and there's no items here to begin with.
In which case, Mothula definitely the place to go.
100%.
We're burning some mummies. We're hoping for a magic refill, but not quite gonna get it. Half magic though is gonna enable the use of Fire Rod for the Mothula fight. I don't know. Jet might go with the hammer though. Does more damage, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So it will die in 4 hammer hits if you're good enough with the hammer. You need the Master Sword is pretty good. It is pretty fine as well. We've also got the Fire Rod, so Master Sword spins do just as much as the Tempered Sword, so that would die in 4 of those.
Yeah, opting to use his one moment at the start of the fight to lock in that spin damage. Basically, the idea is because knocking Mothula into spikes. Nice. Yeah, very good kill there from Jet. Knocking Mothula into spikes. Oh, Cane of Samaria waiting to be found in the back half of Skull Woods.
By God!
Do it! Do it!
You want
Say
me to do it?
Say it!
That's gotta be Cane!
Oh, that's the best one I've heard so far, I think.
I mean, it's not Phantom Ryu, but I'll take it where I can get it.
Yeah, he did one earlier today, but he was trying to not wake up his neighbor, so he was doing this kind of whisper commentary that he was, and so it didn't quite have the same.
It was very sensual Phantom Ryu. Yeah. So I could also do the Deckard Cane one, which has kind of been my thing.
Is it like a oh?
You have quite a treasure there in that Cane of Samaria.
That's not bad. A bit too much. A bit too much character and life in it.
Yeah, too much fluctuation there.
Deckard is a husk, basically. Is how I like to think of it. And it doesn't really matter. What matters is Jet found the Cane of Samaria. He went up to check Bumper Cave, and saw it was nothing he wanted. Where's he go now? Still no bow, still no mirror.
Indeed. So, so the Cane of Samaria doesn't really get you much of anywhere, minus parts of Ice Palace that they've already done.
Oh, This is the tool I need to get revenge on Cold Stare, is what Jet is thinking.
Interesting.
I wasn't keeping track of items in Ice Palace. They definitely found the lamp.
I remember seeing lamp and the mushroom.
Right.
But I think that's it.
Okay, so if Cold Stare has an item, coming back here and taking care of this now could be a really big deal.
I think Cold Stare has 2 items, to be honest, because it's also got the other Fat Fairy crystal.
Yeah, you wanted to call it a red crystal because that's what it appears on the tracker, but that's
it also
unique
appears
to the tracker.
It also appears on the menu when you.
Oh yeah, they added that for randomizer. You're right.
I was gonna say red crystal. You are in fact correct.
Yeah, I think that's what we should call it, because calling it the crystal that lets you get into maybe the Fat Fairy or the Giant Bomb or what, like the whole thing is pretty.
I mean, you could call it Crystal 5 and 6, but
that's also bad.
Or
it
you
is
could call it Crystal
because you have to
5
call it
or Crystal 6.
Yeah,
don't actually know which one it is.
It's just either Crystal 5 or Crystal 5 or 6. Like, I like it. Red Crystal. I vote. That's my vote. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
What you have to do is you have to kneel at the cliff with a red crystal.
And then the whirlwind comes and takes you. You're right. It's not the Fat Fairy Cave at all, really. Ooh. Characteristic miss of a bomb jump. Jet was so sure he had. Oh, he's out of bombs! Oh my god, it was his only bomb and he blew it. Alright, gonna have to hit the switch.
Literally? Sorry.
Hey, there you go. Wanted to bonk across there, but still doesn't have the boots. It's another thing. Like, it hasn't really been required as a progression item so far. Did they check the torch in desert?
I'm pretty sure the Hyrule Footlocker is just closed.
Yeah, they're totally bootsless. They're still fluteless. They're an hour and 8 minutes in, and they've got.
They're just kind of piddling all over Hyrule at this point.
Yeah, this has been a pretty trolly seed. I mean, everyone likes to say that the seed they're watching or their seed they're playing is trolly. Oh, what trolly seed! Oh, can you imagine? It made me double dip into a dungeon. What a trolly seed! But this is a trolly seed, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so. So Jet is very close to Cold Stare, but he's also taking quite a lot of damage.
He's got the powder, though. Hello, turning anti-fairies into fairies is glorious. He also has the net and a lot of bottles, too. So if he wanted to make this Cold Stare fight safe, he can make it as safe as he needs to, really.
He could go up a couple screens after flipping a crystal switch and get a bunch of fairies in there. But
he's opting for none of it. He knows he's really good at this fight. He showed he was really good at this fight. He just wasn't quite good enough.
That was almost. I felt something during that fight.
I know what you mean. It's very rare that you get excited about someone's gameplay when you watch these races. It's easy to get excited about where items are going to be, or when someone makes a mistake. But to get excited just at someone's raw ability to play the game, look at the Ice Rod half or Fire Rod half magic.
There's the mirror!
Oh my god! Wow!
Oh!
What a smart decision to recognize Key Samaria is what I need to make Ice Palace faster. Let's go now and make sure that there's nothing that Cold Stare has. Oh boy, did he have something.
Welcome back to the game.
Yeah, we're playing the randomizer again. We're not just walking all the way up Death Mountain and all the way back down.
It's mirror time, so we've got quite a few locations that the mirror gives us access to, but the most prominent among them is, of course, Swamp Palace.
Yeah, they've had this flipper hookshot combination forever. And,
however, I think this is Fat Fairy, the play that Jet's about to make.
It's a pretty quick check. And it could have, like, boots or something, which would speed up your swamp.
He is going for the Swamp Palace play. Swamp Palace being a pendant here, that's a pretty bold strategy.
Well, there are a lot of items in Swamp, and this mirror, like everything, almost everything in this seed is kind of pointing at this mirror. Well, I don't know. They could have had it before leaving with the lamp. So maybe that's not quite true.
I don't think breadsmiths were checked. It is technically allowed by the logic now. You don't have to have the mirror to pull that off. But right now, Jet's going for Swamp. Now, Swamp has 6 entire items in it. Pretty big play.
Yeah, honestly, when they've checked as many things as they have, still no bow. This is the 6 items in this dungeon. Very lucrative, very appealing. We'll see if it
Jet making use of his knowledge of these pots to find a bomb that he can use to get to this one chest.
That's right. He is still out of bombs.
Finds the sank heart.
Nice little refill there. He's still working with this green mail.
I call that the hammer anxiety chest.
Yeah, that's the only chest you can check without the hammer. So if for some reason you need that chest to be the hammer,
I had a race in the secondary tourney where it was there.
Yeah, and you check everywhere else first because no one wants to go into Swamp without it. And it becomes the last possible location you think, and you get there, and you realize if it's not there, if it doesn't pop out of this treasure chest, I am screwed because I have no idea where it is.
Yep. All right. So the hot thing to do these days, is to skip the left side of Swamp Palace. Do you think Jet will make that play?
He's been going a little bit against the grain. But the Skull Woods incident, he looks down on people with fidget spinners. So I made that up, by the way. I don't know.
Are you saying he wants everyone to get off his lawn?
A little bit. I think a little bit. So I think he's going to head to his lawn here, growing nicely on the left side of Swamp Palace.
Sounds pretty good. This earlier today did cost one of our runners quite a seed. I recall.
I missed that one.
Yep.
Jet's not going to drown the key. Always good. DragonMaster is going to be the one to check out the Dwarven Breadsmith. It's a little slower to do it without the mirror. I think that's why Jet didn't do it? ? Pretty sure he didn't.
If you want to see a seed that punishes you for not checking left side, go watch the Jighart versus Fred Coughlin match from earlier today.
Oh, I was watching part of that, but I stopped. Dang, I should have go back and see how that one ended.
I won't spoil it for you, but it's
got something to do with that Swamp Palace. I'll keep an eye out for it. DragonMaster lugging this dwarf all the way across Kakariko. He's wondering, where is this guy taking me? I mean, I was pretty lost in the dark world, and I'm feeling pretty good about the light world, but...
Yeah, I got this sweet beard now.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure I could get anyone to do whatever I want as long as I got this beard.
And that's what beards are for. There's the big key in Swamp Palace.
Swamp, one of 2 dungeons where the big key not really a thing.
It's not a requirement, and in fact, the boss can drop it, which is fun.
Yeah. We're seeing that magic bat play.
The other place where the big key can be dropped, of course, is Mothula. So, nothing good on the magic bat. Unfortunately, I was kind of pulling for that one. Because powder is my favorite item in the game. Not close. Hey, there's the tempered sword.
Forged in the fiery hells of Cheeto Mountain. doubling the damage of the Master Sword, including the spin, which goes up to gold sword damage.
Yep. And the Tempered Sword gives you access to the quick kill strat for Argus here.
Oh yeah, actually that is a very fortuitous find. The Argus fight quite a bit different. Without that sword, you can do the 2 Master Sword slash. If you're on Fighter Sword, you can do the switch to hammer for every single puff, but I think Master Sword probably faster than doing that.
And then of course at the very end you can do the 2 Fire Rod and a single spin to take care of Argus proper at the very end.
Yeah, it looks so good. DragonMaster is going to go check out the... Well, he's not happy about seeing nothing at the pedestal. Wonder what he's thinking right now.
He's probably thinking, I have to go kill Cold Stare.
He might actually be out of locations at this point. He's got that Fire Rod, which, I mean, obviously led you to Skull Woods. Yeah. Realizes now what that death cost him.
Yeah, Bumper Cave was checked. It was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And Jet coming up on the Argus fight.
Here we go. Not going to be going for the zero
Argus
cycle. Yeah, he doesn't have the incredibly difficult setup where you get the like hook dash going, so your sword's always out, and you skewer them onto your sword with the hook shot. Incredibly hard to do. Like even just getting to that point is hard, but then you need to maneuver left and right to pull the puffs off systematically, cleaning up Argus and earning the bow right at the end of Swamp Palace.
That was an excellent call by Jet to go into Swamp Palace then, because the bow is going to give you access to Palace of Darkness, Eastern Palace if you want to get the green pendant off of Armos, and of course is required to complete the game.
Well, yeah, there is that little thing of it being guaranteed required to complete the game. 2 items, I guess, in Eastern with the green pendant and Armos itself. And with Pod being right there and being required, might be enough of an incentive to lure Jet over that way. But first, he's going to go to Desert and earn silver arrows! Wow.
Oh!
That was...
So I heard you like shiny arrows.
You heard that about me.
I did.
I didn't. I'm not super happy that got out, but I guess I'll...
Pretty sure it's all over the place now.
Oh man! All right, I gotta be right back. I gotta get on top of this. Put out a press release or something.
All right, so Jet's gonna head over and do some of the mirror stuff that we haven't seen so far. So the bush cave. And
is that what you call this cave? I was talking.
I've called it the Haunted Grove Cave,
mm-hmm.
Bush Cave, the Mirror Bonk Cave.
I've heard it called the South Grove Cave. I call it the Ring of Flowers Cave. I've heard just Heart Piece Cave, even though it's not the only cave with a heart piece.
Yeah, there's quite a few caves with a heart piece. Alrighty. So Jet's gonna be making the blacksmith play. Gonna call forth a sick beard into being.
It's an incredibly powerful ability that shouldn't be abused.
Yep. I mean, that's why Cold Stare was guarding it.
Yeah, Ganon was like, hey man, I know you're one of the most annoying fights I have in the game, so hold on to this for me, would you? Going back in, Jet gonna earn himself 20 rupees.
Yep.
Where's he going?
And it only cost him 10.
Hey. That's profit. That's business.
That's
buy low, sell high. Jet knows.
That's 100% profit.
Gonna be also checking Magic Bat, lugging the purple chest down there with him as DragonMaster is approaching Cold Stare. He's probably gonna pull out this Fire Rod, and it's probably gonna make this fight go a heck of a lot smoother than it did last time.
Indeed. So, we all wish DragonMaster good luck on his fight against Cold Stare, which will net the mirror. We've seen quite a few good drops on bosses today.
Yeah, you're right.
We had the cane on Mothula. We had the mirror here on Cold Stare. We had the bow on Argus. I mean, what are you gonna ask for?
The
Ether Medallion on Helmasaur?
Yeah. Boots on Landmolas.
Or how about Flute on Helmasaur? The Butter Sword in the purple chest.
Let me just look. Like, I don't know what's in this thing. I've been lugging it around for like 10 minutes now. Can you just open this up and... Oh, the briefcase from Pulp Fiction. Gold light illuminates the air. The almighty, powerful butter sword.
All of a sudden, you get the smell of like rancid butter.
It's been in that chest in the sun for days. Oh, man. But it's really strong, so you go ahead and take it anyway.
I mean, why do you think it deals so much damage? People are like, oh, the smell.
Yeah, if the Cheeto sword is fiery and burny, then the butter sword is like acidic. Just, you think it, hot knife through butter, but this butter cuts through hot knives. It's so gross.
It's the Soviet Russia sword.
That one probably won't stick, but it'll
You're
work
right.
for now.
It'll work for now.
It's got the big bomb. He's lunging it up to this pyramid that had the hook shot, by the way. If you're just coming in to this seed, pretty exciting to see the pyramid relevant once again.
All right, so the Fat Fairy gonna have some stuff today. Maybe. We'll see.
I'm not feeling it. I've seen this come up empty. I can't get myself psyched up for it.
Yeah, you're right. You've got the intuition there that I just did not have.
It's I mean, you need to...
You need a healthy dose of cynicism.
Yeah. That's the end goal of what I was getting at, for sure. You don't get hurt when you don't put yourself out there and set those hopes and expectations. It's very safe. So I tend to be a fan. I play it safe.
That sounds like a sad way to live.
It is an incredibly... I actually am the opposite.
And I'm not going to say that I don't do that, but it's a sad way to live.
Yeah. I think everyone does to some degree. It's only human nature. And now we're getting way off topic, though incredibly interesting as I find it. I will point us back towards Jet's Palace of Darkness trip coming up. Has enough monies to pay Kiki the Monkey down to 5 hearts, but like blue mail, gold sword, powder, bottles, net, he's going to be able to do what he needs to survive here, I think.
Palace of Darkness is pretty survivable at most levels of hearts, especially once you have the bow.
Silvers also, if he wants to use it for combat purposes. With the gold sword, I don't know, but yeah, options there.
And you could kill Helmasaur King with a single shot to the face with an arrow.
Yeah,
or you could slash it twice with the gold sword. So there's the thing. All right, so just in the front, and that's what we expect. We expect a whole lot of business here in the front, and then a whole lot of party way in the back.
I mean, key is exactly what Palace of Darkness offers up. Yeah. So DragonMaster has gone to Swamp, by the way. We glossed over this, but this is a very important decision he's made to go to Swamp. The bow is in here. The bow unlocks pretty much most of the further progress that I can think of. So if he went somewhere else at this point, would have been really bad for him.
He'll get another sword here as well, so that'll make his fighting a little easier to deal with. Jet is opting to use those silver arrows he just got to great effect. Single arrow will kill the mimic of whatever color. Doesn't matter.
Earning himself a key. As DragonMaster hits the switch after collecting the key. No drowning going on. Walnut already blown up for Jet due to his routing through the palace. He's looking pretty good on bombs now. He was in a bit of a crunch early on, back towards Swamp and Ice Palace, but he's got a healthy count now.
Particularly in the Ice Palace, where he was forced to forego the Ice Palace bomb jump at one point.
That probably hurt him, especially after doing it first try, the first time he was in Ice Palace.
So, just finding all the keys you can possibly stand here up front.
I need to stress that he's finding them up front.
I mean, yeah.
Gotta milk it. Absolutely.
Hey, I haven't brought it up.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm 100% on board with this endeavor.
It is a proper description for this dungeon. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's why it keeps coming up. Honestly, it's very relevant. And I said that sarcastically, but the whole point is that it's not sarcastic. It actually is the nature of the dungeon, pertains to the structure and the flow of the dungeon. So yeah, anyway, we're moving on.
And it can be relevant to your logic as well, because we discussed earlier that without the bow you can't get much here. There's only 3 chests that aren't bow locked, and there is the flute inside the Palace of Darkness. That's going to get you access to Misery Mire, and that is what you need.
Yeah, that might be go mode. We haven't been able to see the Mire medallion, but that's pretty much it. If he's 66% chance go mode for Jet.
That is 100% true. And so another heart container for Jet, and looks like he's going to head over to the Dark Maze just in case that Ether Medallion is there.
Oh, you know what? I guess further influencing that 66% is the 1 in 22 that the Ganon's Tower big key requires the boots that they don't have yet.
Oh, there is also that.
I've seen a couple bootsless seeds get to Ganon's Tower and dodge that particular bullet, and there's actually a pretty good clip out there of the closest dodge of that bullet that you'll ever see.
Was it in like the next room or something?
Yeah, first chest boots, and then immediately over to the key.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
I forget who was commentating, but they made it clip worthy for sure.
That's right. I think
Desert Palace.
Desert Palace is boots locked here.
Yeah, so. I don't explicitly remember seeing the key on the torch, but they were over there without a fire source.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible that Chad is wrong, but honestly, I think they're probably right.
I assumed that they hadn't finished because of the lack of fire source, but I could, be doing what assuming does to you. And so there you go.
DragonMaster's got his bow now. I'm sure if he had control of his character, we'd be seeing slashing all around.
Right, I remember now. It was just a very quick trip into Desert, because they had like a chest and then they walked out.
Yeah, Jet didn't even get the tunic on the ledge that DragonMaster has.
Right. So DragonMaster is going to come over here to the Bombo's tablet.
Gonna pick himself up. Lovely, shiny set of arrows.
Mm-hmm.
That everyone knows I have a great affinity for now.
Yeah. I will, I will admit I'm kind of in the same camp here. I like shiny arrows as well, so it's good not to be alone.
Yeah, I'll tell you my username on shinythings.com. Don't go to that website, probably.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is, and there's a good chance it might not be appropriate.
All right, clip and chat. That's the clip. Thanks, Law19. Pretty sure it didn't get timed out or anything. I don't think it would. Gold Sword, 2-shotting. Helmasaur. So Jet is done with Palace of Darkness now. He's kind of a whole dungeon ahead of DragonMaster at this point.
And it looks like we will be activating our swag duck pretty soon.
Hell yeah. Going back in for the rupee horde that Dragon Master spotted here on this particular cave.
That was an excellent Helmosaur fight. Jet is now going in to finish off Eastern.
Yeah, there's 2 items here, and he needs what? Boots? Probably, very likely, and then the medallion. So he's pretty sure he shouldn't leave, while he's here.
Yeah. It's not that long to check, and he's done a pretty good job routing so far, so I think he can be confident that this isn't that big of a gamble.
He has to rely on sword beams after missing the pot throw, and turns out they're just as good.
Yeah. He actually killed a Stalfos that wasn't going to spawn with that pot.
Yeah, killed it twice.
Yeah.
Had that Stalfos thinking twice the next time it even thinks of spawning.
Yeah.
Gonna get another look inside the room of the double-chested fairy, who's apparently absent. Asked us to house sit. We might have some explaining to do vis-a-vis the door.
Yeah, well, we'll just pay her for it later. That's what you do to people you destroy the doors, right? You have to pay them.
That's exactly how it works. We're all fans here, so we all know for sure. We got the Armos fight coming up. Silver arrows for Jet. Gonna speed things up a little bit. Very good fight. And mirror shield. All right, green pendant. What is this gonna do for us? Is this gonna be something worth Jet's time, or is this a small chance for Dragon Master to gain some ground?
That is a pretty good pastime, coming into randomizers and waiting for someone to say this is a big troll, and then coming back with, but this would be a bigger troll.
I mean, it would be relative to whatever is going on in that match, right? So you couldn't just have something prepared.
It's good discussion, and it makes some, and it is a skill that's nice to have. So Jet's gonna turn in this green pendant real fast, and it's just a piece of heart.
Eastern Palace confirmed. I was gonna say useless, but the Titan's mitts were actually located in Eastern Palace. So
second trip to Eastern Palace confirmed garbage.
Yeah.
All right, Jet getting the Zelda love on the way out, filling up those hearts.
He's got that flute, definitely heading over to Kakariko. I'm anticipating if he doesn't have what he needs to get into Mire, the Mire Shed or Checkerboard Cave is gonna have it. I've already been right once today with that Master Sword. Well, kind of right. There was also a fire rod in there.
And here he is, the Duck of Swag himself. Getting that
any second. Hard to tell without game audio on the commentary viewer, but it'll be here, and there it is.
Yep.
I don't know if we have the Franker faces going on Speed Gaming 4.
I don't know.
Definitely throw it up in chat if you guys see it, though. Jet going nuts on his D-pad again. The Iron Thumb, capable of playing Zelda for as long as he needs to.
Yeah, I still don't own a controller that works with my computer, so I'm still on keyboard, but
get some of that, like...
Yeah. If you ever see me going nuts, that's why. Alright, so, Swag Duck acquired. We're heading into the Mire Shed here.
Did he peek at the medallion?
It's Quake, apparently.
Okay, so super likely go mode here for Jet, but he's definitely thinking boots required.
He's looking to find those boots. Quack, quack, medallion, quack.
The Affleck medallion.
Quack,
Jet
quack.
not gonna find the boots that he's looking for here in Checkerboard Cave, so he's gonna go into Mire, and then after that
the search begins.
it'd be like a Turtle Rock or something. Yuck.
Wow. We did say that pendant Turtle Rock was required.
They've had that medallion to get in. Wait, no, it's Ether. They would need to find Ether first.
So
get Ether in Mire.
That would be the worst, and I apologize for when that inevitably happens.
Yeah, we've done a pretty good job of calling things as they happen and as they turn out to be. So we'll see if we've once again subjected our runners to some sort of small bit of torture, just a little bit of torture.
They do not want to see the Ether Medallion at any point right now. No, get out.
Yep, it doesn't exist. The whole dungeon doesn't exist. Finally a seed without Turtle Rock, and no. Just when I thought I was out, it pulls me back in. We'll see. Lots of places left to check here in Mire. Dungeon Master is making his way through Palace of Darkness. King Samari is going to speed up that room just a little bit. He's got the silver arrows as well.
So yeah, that little piece you made right there about Turtle Rock, just when you thought you were out, it pulled you back in, makes me think that Turtle Rock is now the Mafia.
The dungeon.
The dungeon itself is the Mafia.
Is the Mafia.
Because when you get it, just when you thought you were going to get out, it pulls you back in.
So the object, the place, is a group of people.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen it before. Final Fantasy X did it.
Yeah. Okay. We'll take it. Jet getting the big key in Mire in the chest, but he's definitely not going to be beelining it. He needs to find those boots, so he's digging through.
Yep. So we're going to get the 14-second cutscene that feels like 14 minutes.
Just a couple block pushes and rod throws away. And there it is. Meanwhile, Helmet Sword fight from DragonMaster, holding the sword out to extend the hitbox of the hammer by just a little bit. I think it adds probably just a touch of lag with the extra sparkles, but a lot of players feel like it's worth it.
Right. It gives you a much bigger margin of error.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how small that hammer hitbox can be when you don't pull that sword out. And very good fight from him.
That's a pretty interesting nickname.
That sounds like a porn name.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it.
Jet, still looking for boots, is pretty sure they're going to be here somewhere.
Late night rando runs, everybody.
Yeah, that's the thing. Past 12 o'clock, it's okay to say these. Not really. I'm pushing it for sure. But shh, don't tell Fiesel. He trusts me. I wouldn't want to know. After this whole shiny object thing, I'm on thin ice. Shovel?
The shovel! Oh, good. Oh, wow.
What does the shovel lead to? The shovel of great ambiguity.
Shovel to Ether, Ether to T-Rock.
T-Rock to Boots, Boots to Desert. Could be. You did have a pretty good point, I think, about concocting these scenarios. It's a puzzle, basically. Your mind works to put these pieces together, and the goal, sure, correlates directly to the amount of suffering the player has to go through by making this chain as long and complicated as possible. But really, it's all about just the desire to find the longest and most complicated chain of items that you can. For most people, some of you people out there,
it's either that or the Schadenfreude. But
yeah, I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Oh no, I'm a jerk.
So Jet is pretty far through Misery Mire here. As DragonMaster is unfortunately heading into Eastern Palace. An opportunity here to skip this Eastern Palace would have gained him some ground on Jet, because there's nothing here, and Jet already did it. But DragonMaster came to the same conclusion that Jet did. Still need those boots. 2 items here. Not too long to check it, and I'm already here. So he's gone ahead and gone inside, and it's not going to work out.
That is the case. Now, I mean, knowing what we know, it's not the right move. But of course, knowing what he knows, it's probably.
I think it probably is, yeah.
I mean, it seems like a great call, and you cannot be results oriented about these things. You have to go with the call that you believe is correct.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh my goodness! Ether Medallion from Vitreous, opening the door literally to Turtle Rock, a dungeon that they were very close to not having to go into, and suddenly, pretty sure they have to go into.
Oh, and that's gross. So, Jet is pulling with frustration.
DragonMaster02, green pendant not panning out for him, so he gives the Hasrilla something. That's for sure.
Little present.
We got
the yellow guard situation.
Yeah, what was that? I'd never seen that before.
It has something to do with a switching in palette right before you head to that room. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I've seen Golden Knights. I've also seen
the shovel. Will the shovel spare them? No.
No.
Oh, the shovel, the unforgiving, cold steel of the spade of that shovel, digging up nothing but arrows. Nail in the coffin.
You're just digging your own grave here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jet's going into the dark world here.
I've also seen purple guards happen. So
that's neat. That's got to be in between the blue and the red guard, I guess.
But it was a green guard.
Okay, the color just goes out the window, I guess. Or maybe he should be as strong as both, but then he overflows back around to green. All right, I figured it out. Activating the flute for DragonMaster as Jet's traipsing around. I guess he's heading to the cave in the graveyard. Yeah. If this is the boots, you can very quickly check the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, but at that point he's in go mode, so probably not.
He's got the whole, he's praying to whatever deity he believes exists for Rando. Is there a Rando deity?
RN Jesus.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. I don't know about the whole
Trinity. I just spoke that blasphemy.
Yeah.
Against
are you serious? Well, no.
Just bombs, and it looks like, unless I could think of anything else, we are heading to Turtle Rock.
I'm racking my brain, and I'm not the greatest at going over all the spots in the game, but I don't see it.
Which means that once again, we have a rando seed with no pedestal, but every dungeon had something that you had to do.
Yep, that's right. Eastern Palace didn't need to be finished, but it had those Titan's Mitts. Tower of Hera had Fire Rod and the Master Sword.
And of course, it was a crystal to begin with.
Yeah.
Swamp Palette was our other pendant dungeon, and it had the bow in it.
Yes, Argus. What was the... Did we get all the pendant dungeons? Turtle Rock's the last one. Right, okay.
Yep.
Turns out 3 minus 2 is 1, I guess.
It could be.
After that fraction math we did earlier, I completely expended all ability to
If
do
you were
math.
expecting high-level mathematics, look somewhere else.
I told you I peaked. I told you. All right. You're opening up Turtle Rock. Thanks,
So,
Ether Medallion.
Boots are gonna be in here somewhere, or in the Mimic Cave, which is basically in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, for sure. It's how many items in Turtle Rock? I'm so bad with the item counts. You can tell I don't actually play it.
There are 5 items in Turtle Rock, plus the Mimic Cave.
That's right. So that's kind of a lot of items. I mean, there are situations, I think, where people head into Turtle Rock, even though you want to leave it for last for lots of reasons. It's next to Ganon's Tower. You need a lot of items to get through it all, but I mean, it also has quite a lot of items. One of them going to be the boots.
So, Jet's heading into the Fire Rod required room here. It's a nice little room, and you can hook shot off to end that sequence early. If you don't have the hook shot, that's a much slower room.
Yeah, you have to go all the way around. Some players get caught off guard going the one way and finding out they don't have the hook shot, and then taking so long to get all the way around the track the door closes before they can get there. And that's a pretty embarrassing.
Heart container and just a small key there in the room. So we're heading over to the eye laser spike room. And there's the big key.
That's normally what you want to see when you head into Turtle Rock. Doesn't matter too much now.
Yes.
I mean, unless Trinex is holding it.
Oh dear.
Down to 3.5 hearts. I mean, he's got every single safety item, so I don't think this is good. But chain chomps, they're scary.
Chain chomps are the worst.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the worst. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I mean before I talked about the chain chomp.
Oh no, that was it.
Okay.
I was gonna say 3.5 hearts, chain chomps, ow.
The worst. All right, so yeah, there it is. Powder going to work. The safety item of choice, I think, for most people. Not that you get much of a choice in Randomizer, but
right. All right, so we will be heading over to pick up this key from the Pokey, and then I imagine we'll be going to check that vanilla big key chest.
Turning into a bunny there, but already did all the work he needed to with that sword spin, so he's going to be fine. Comes out of the tunnel.
Another 300 rupees. So 2 of the items so far have been found here.
Meanwhile, DragonMaster is making his way through Mire. He's not going to find anything but the Ether Medallion all the way at the end. Vitreous holding onto it.
And the troll shovel.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about the shovel. Such an important piece of equipment in this run.
So yeah, this is one of those seeds where it's just trolly enough where, you know, even the most seasoned, the best veterans are not going to sub to this seed. Because it is gross.
Yeah, this is... I mean, it's. I think it's pretty rare for Jet to post a time that high. Not too familiar with DragonMaster, but based off the execution, seems fairly solid. Wasn't able to put on quite a show versus Cold Stare the way Jet did, but seems very solid, especially routing-wise. Been following Jet in pretty much every single routing decision.
Pretty much. All right, so just another 300 rupees in the Mimic Cave.
Back into Turtle Rock proper.
The blue boomerang in the big chest.
Thank goodness we found that. That's what we came here for.
Yep.
The Ether Medallion.
Can't win the game without that.
Leading us to the blue boomerang.
So that's 3 of the 5 items here in Turtle Rock. So we're down to 2 items, and they are going to be on the laser bridge. Or at Trinex himself.
Yep. Jet was hoping he wouldn't have to go this deep into Turtle Rock, but here he goes. Deeper and deeper, almost all the way in. DragonMaster has silvers and all the good stuff, so this Vitreous fight shouldn't be anything really for him to worry about that he's coming up on here.
Alright, so Jet heading down into this room. We're gonna dash through some lasers and a mini Helmasaur, except we don't have the dash ability.
Yeah, actually,
there's called boots.
There's a couple of rooms where you really miss the boots when you don't have them, but this is one of those situations.
At least you have the big shield here.
Yeah, no shenanigans necessary. If you even want, you can even turn and hold your sword out to put the shield sideways.
Trinex has it.
Wow. Oh man, one last twist of the knife.
Speaking of bosses having things this scene. Goodness. Mothula had Cane. Argus had Bow. Cold Stare had Mirror. Vitreous had Ether Medallion to get into Turtle Rock. Trinex has Boots, which are required for Desert. This is gross and ridiculous.
When you say it all back, it really just washes over you. You realize just how wild a ride we've been taken on.
Indeed.
Jet into the Trinex fight. Didn't go with the back door, so I don't think he's going to get the 0 yet. Gonna have to get the...
You have to have the boots.
Yeah, you're right. You can't get across the room fast enough. Good point, but you can get this sword spin with the gold sword. 1, 2... Oh, it didn't quite... Alright, finish it off there in the corner. Pretty solid fight from Jet. And here it is. It has to be. Has to be. 100%.
Unless we miscounted somewhere. There they are! The Pegasus boots. And now Jet is beating his head against a wall in frustration or something. Just let the scene end.
There's work to do, my friend. You're not even at Ganon's Tower yet. You gotta go all the way over to Desert and finish that, then come all the way back up here. Miles to go before you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Getting frosty up on Death Mountain.
Get that frosty in there. I mean, you could always go with the 2 roads diverge in a wood thing for this particular endeavor, randomizer.
Sure, yeah, lots of those.
Yeah, we get a whole lot of roads diverging in a yellow wood.
And all the other words that most people don't know.
2 roads diverge in a yellow wood, and sorry I couldn't, I used to know it, I'm just not gonna do it.
I was gonna say, no, you're nailing it. You got it. In the middle of the poem, I'm sorry.
I could do it, but I feel like I'd be wasting everybody's time. So
okay. You know who can do the whole thing off by heart? Weasel.
Nice.
He memorized it for something. He would use it as almost like a mic test, I think. He would just do the whole poem. Yeah, he can rattle it off like a rap god.
The reason I know it is because my brother did a vocal performance of it set to music, and it just stuck in my head.
That'd do it. Sounds all right. So the off-screen scoreboard for one of our secondary tourney matches is reporting a tie.
Really?
Yeah.
Actual
definitely.
Tie?
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
Well, RaceBot only goes down to the second, so it's
wow.
It is possible for sure.
And And, depending on what people are using to do that, it depends on when you type in the .done or use your
right. Yeah,
split or whatever you're using to do it.
You're left wondering, like, did I hit the button too late? Could I have won this thing if I had just been a little more on the ball with the .done? Ugly question
impressive.
to think about.
So
yeah.
we got a clip here on that, and I'm gonna save that. I can see it later. But right now we've got Jet finishing off Landmola's with a couple of fire rod shots here and there, missing a couple of them. Landmola's could be very, very tricky like that.
Does get the crystal. Had silvers, which will one-shot Landmola's, but there's the delay as you pull the bow back, and if you miss, that arrow with all those glorious sparkles that I love so much will unfortunately lag the game quite a bit. And you can, hit those fire rod shots really quick, and sometimes the fire rod shots double up in a kind of
That's a
fun
neat
way.
little sprite for the bunnied boo cat.
It's always good to get a glimpse at all the variations of the custom sprites that are available. What was I saying? It was something stupid. So it's probably okay that we're moving on to Ganon's Tower.
Ganon's Tower is up, ladies and gentlemen, which everybody knows what that means. It is time to call your big key shot.
We really need to come up with a better name for it.
You are correct.
But it doesn't matter because the game is still fun. Ladies and gentlemen, number between 1 and 22 is what you want to go ahead and type in chat. Even if you don't know what the heck is going on, just choose a number. And you're playing the game, the big key that is required to progress through Ganon's Tower, located in 1 of 22 chests. And J-Man is thinking, well, but this seed, 22, my friends. And I think he's onto something there.
Myself, I always have to go with the Bob chest because, look at me. Dr. Bobtastic over here.
Dr. Me, the me key over here. That's what, 14? I guess it kind of depends on how you approach it.
Yeah, it's a hedge. That's why I picked the chest and not the number. But
19 is my number. And I won. I won the very first time I commentated a tournament match. We played the game, I called it, I won, and then I lost a whole bunch more times, as is the case. But I want to win again, 19.
Sounds pretty good. You should try that strategy at roulette sometime.
You win once, and you're like, great, all right, I can just do this every time, and then I just win all the time.
Yep, that's how it works.
Jet's going right. He got the key he needs to progress. Not going to be waiting for the tile room, another potential.
Seems like a solid play.
Yeah, we called it that 22. It could be a 22 tile big key.
Indeed.
As DragonMaster's getting.
How many tiles are in the formation? If it's 22, that's hilarious. I think it's more than 22.
Probably. It's a pretty big skull.
Somebody in chat's gonna figure it out.
Someone's gonna post the entire skull in ASCII. And then someone is gonna put up one of those weird Twitter memes with the skeletons. Have you seen these?
I have not.
Yeah, people will it's like it purposely tries to mimic someone's bad live journal or something with some weird, awful life advice or just some insight into a weird life they lead. And then it's just skeletons.
Oh, okay.
In the image.
Okay, I get it. Also, Bob
good
lives today.
He does.
So we got
key torch, not required.
Keys, bombs, keys, and big key. There it is.
That was
inside.
Chest 8.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Torch 789 or 11.
11. Number 11 is the winner, everybody. That is the climactic finish to that. And Life Smash, immediately, first one to call it. 11, always 11.
That is impressive.
Congratulations to Life Smash. That's almost as impressive as calling out Master Sword as the item in Tower of Hera. Almost. So very impressive.
Or calling Ether Medallion on Vitreous.
That was more impressive. I cannot deny. DragonMaster into the Trine next fight, dodging the head.
I don't think I actually called that, so you're in the clear.
I think you said it.
Okay.
Well, you said it in like an what if rather than a.
Yeah, of course. It wasn't
It is.
a definite call. Now, of course, what is our esteemed guesser win today?
Oh, depends what coupons I can clip out of the flyer.
I mean, his guess was 11, so maybe we should give him an amp knob that goes to 11 instead of 10.
Okay, that's also
One
a
higher.
physical object that is actually difficult to mail to someone. So for the sake of the joke, yes, but no, I'm not going to mail you a physical object.
No, of course.
With the number 11 on it.
It just happens to go to 11. It does.
Yeah,
That's what it does.
These ones go to 11. Funny enough,
so
Mike.
with the bad spinal tap.
We're going silvers this
way,
time. Yeah, a lot of the people in the chat probably like, what are they talking about?
What is this spinal tap you're talking about? And why are you guys so old?
Yeah, the ones who do know are like, they like laugh or chuckle, but they're also like a sigh of like, oh.
We could offer you a consolation prize of Herfy Duffy's love and affection.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's easier. Getting confirmation we're joined by fellow old people in the chat. The speed gaming audience skews pretty old. Your chances are pretty good that you both played A Link to the Past when it came out, and that you know what Spinal Tap is. Turns out.
Yeah, there's a decent correlation.
Studies show the direct correlation.
I believe the R squared value is somewhere in the vicinity of 0.8.
Yeah. Jet successfully not despawning all the sprites here in Galen's Tower. Yeah, DragonMaster's kind of last best chance to make up some significant ground as he's just getting through desert and still has to get all the way back up to Death Mountain.
Yeah, but an R squared value of 0.4 is not very significant. Okay,
I wouldn't know. I would know that Moldorm, I mean, it's pretty hard for Moldorm to stop Jet for 10 minutes or whatever. That maybe not 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes.
We do, in fact, have full inventory this seed. It's pretty ridiculous.
Did he get that fourth bottle from the Hylia ledge?
Oh, that's right. Or it was Hylia Lake. Yeah.
Yeah, I called it ledge. That's not a thing. So I don't know if that counts. You know, the tracker's lit up. It's lit up. It doesn't say 4, it says 3, but it's not gray. Then again, Aghanim's still gray. He doesn't show up in the menu. I don't know. We're gonna have to table this for later, I guess.
In this tournament, we do not harass people for skipping the validation chest. It's not a thing. It is a thing, but it's not a thing.
we don't let people do it, but we're also passive aggressive about people who do it.
Yeah, we'll just call you out for the next couple of weeks on it. That's about it.
Yeah. So Aghanim down. Actually, very good fight from Jet.
Quite good.
Was it triples going in there? I couldn't quite tell. When they group up, it's hard to tell if you're getting into triple.
I think it was like 1-2-1-2. I think that's correct. And Jet will be making the fall into Ganon. The Butter Sword Ganon fight with blue mail, it looks like. Seems like it's going to be a pretty standard situation.
Yep. Waiting for that next phase to start. 3, 4, 5, nope, 6 run away from the Fire Bats. Hookshot invincibility. Better than running away. Has to run away from Fire Bats, though, dodging those. But once these Fire Bats are gone, yeah, pretty much smooth sailing from here.
And an immediate shot on phase 3. Took a few extra shots at Ganon in phase 2 just because, you know, there's no kill like overkill. And
that's right.
Heading on to...
No greater shame than counting to 5.
Oh, yeah. Indeed. Did we find the arrows in the light world? We sure did.
Yeah, that Bombos tablet from the middle of nowhere. Long distance fire rod shot. Hugs Ganon. Look at his health bar down to 1.5. I think has something to refill that, but, you know, he's pretty confident in his ability to fight Ganon. I mean, it's going to take
double.
It's going to take a lot for
their
comeback to manifest. A bit scary there at the end for Jet, but he pulls it out. 1.5 hearts left done. The final SRL time of 2:07:43. Jet082 says, "Stupid seed." DragonMaster response, "Indeed, GG, man."
That was gross indeed. DragonMaster's just kind of standing there for a bit. Don't know if he's gonna finish. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's just taking a moment to acknowledge Jet finishing. It must be pretty weird to be in a race against Jet and see the 2-hour mark and not see that dot done. But I guess then again, after having experienced that seed firsthand, you could be well aware of just how long it might take someone to finish it.
Well, hello there.
Hey. Oh my god, that seed.
That was something, man.
I think I've begun to call this seed Boss Drops the Seed.
Oh my gosh, we had, what was it, Swamp? Argus dropped the bow, and I knew we got Ice Rod so early, I'm like, look, it's just gonna be at Trinex, but I couldn't take the chance, so I still did everything, but I'm like, I'm going into Turtle Rock, I'm like, I know exactly where it is. It's gonna be on Trinex.
There was a lot going on. So yeah, we called the bosses. Argus had the bow. Trinex had the boots.
Vitreous had the ether medallion. So
that was a good one.
Rock.
Yeah.
Cold Stare had the mirror.
I'm like, I saw Desert early, and I'm like, okay, you need boots in order to beat this. Hey, maybe I'll get boots sort of early this seed, because,
Nope.
Oh my gosh. And
DragonMaster is going all the way to Ice Armos, by the way, on the right side.
But I'm most disappointed in my death. And just a sloppy play overall. I mean, I was just taking damage left and right. I should have grabbed the suit on the ledge of Desert. And I'm like, for some reason, I'm just like, I'll be fine. Save and quit, no problem. But I'm never giving up on safeties this time. I'm just going to go grab them. Because I would have survived.
Oh yeah, that Cold Stare fight, man. We were heartbroken when you fell.
Amazing looking.
It's definitely the best boss death I've ever seen by far.
He must have had a couple more hits, and I was pause buffering and everything just to make sure, and just
You threaded the needle on a couple situations where I was like, sometimes you pause buffer, and you're still just you're screwed. I'm just screwed in slow motion now instead. But you made it happen in like 3 times. I thought you were done, and you kept going. And oh man. So even though you died, and even though Cold Stare had the mirror that would have saved so much time, I still need to tip my hat to that Cold Stare fight. Watching you dodge was pretty good stuff. But I do want to say you had a full magic bar and a magic cape in your inventory.
I had magic cape.
You didn't pull it out. I
forgot. I'm like, I gotta do hammer so I could just beat him. Oh my god. I I didn't even know. I didn't even remember until you just said it right now.
Yeah, I was like, a player like Jet probably wouldn't forget. So I was like, maybe he's just feeling the flow of the fight. He doesn't want to mess. Nope, just forgot. My bad.
Like you do. So DragonMaster just found the big key. He's on the way up. Good on him there. This was a seed. Ugh.
I was fully expecting Tile Room. And I thought I was pretty far behind, so I'm like, should I just gamble Tile Room? But I'm like, no, that's not a good idea.
I mean, 2 hours into Ganon's Tower, you can't be blamed for thinking you're behind. But it turns out, actually, pretty much every trap you fell into, DragonMaster fell into pretty much the same.
Yeah, I can't imagine
just that kind of seed.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any runner who could pick up this seed and, sub 2.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah, not without. If someone said go the opposite of where you think you should go, then they'd probably do pretty well.
Someone said this is basically a Plando.
Yeah, they would maybe start to sniff some of this stuff out. There was a moment, didn't find the lamp for a long time, so there was a reluctance to go to Death Mountain, and then eventually you did go, and then you found nothing.
Yes, absolutely. You actually needed Lantern to do anything up on Death Mountain.
Yep. It's like the ultimate FU to sequence breakers. Like, if you had the Lantern, this wouldn't have been a problem. You came up here without it, and now you're screwed.
That is what you get.
Yeah.
I mean,
for doubting the logic.
This wasn't a pedestal seed, but it pretty much turned out to be that way.
I mean, every dungeon had something.
Yep.
Eastern had the Titan's mitts.
Yep.
And Argus had the bow, and Trinex had the frickin' boots. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you guys both finished off Armos, hoping for, because you come at a pod, and then you're thinking there's 2 items in there, because you both did the partial completion for the Titan's mitts, of course. And I was like, this could be a chance to catch up, and then he went back in, and it was just another case of him making the same decision in the same situation as you were. Even if it turned out to not be right.
I would have been okay with vanilla boots. That would have been fine.
You would have had them sooner.
Yeah. Nope. We had to go to Pendant Turtle Rock.
We were talking, Pendant Turtle Rock was not a certainty until the very, very end of Mire, when the Ether Medallion drops and it's not the boots that you're looking for. So, does that affect you at all? Does that throw you off when you see that Ether Medallion drop?
No, I mean, so I'm going in. So whenever I go into any dungeon, I'm making a plan. I'm like, where am I going to go next if I don't get anything of worth? Like, what's my plan? And going into Mire, I'm like, I'm either going to get Ether or I'm going to get boots here. There's nowhere else for me to check. Actually, I think I had to do the Graveyard Ledge at that point. So I'm like, I'll check Graveyard Ledge no matter what, because it's a really quick check, just in case that happens to be boots. But otherwise, I'm like, I'm probably going to get Ether or boots in here. So I was ready. Like, as soon as it dropped, I'm like, yep, I fully expected this.
It was just a coin flip that came up Ether instead of boots.
Honestly, I was most disappointed in Mir dropping from Cold Stare, because I'm like I had to leave it, and I was a little flustered after the death, so that's why I went and did something else. And I'm like, well, I could do Tower of Hera now, so it's like, let's just get that done. And I got a sword upgrade, which was nice, and I think Fire Rod. I think I got both.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, revenge, let's do this.
Yeah, the words revenge came out of my mouth when you were on your way.
I think you went to Moss
So
first
satisfying.
and got the cane. But yeah.
Yeah, because Kane enabled a bit of a shortcut with the block pushing in Ice Palace.
I needed that because I ran out of bombs. I wasn't even looking at my bomb count. And I'm like, crap, man. Bomb count was so low this game because I think the pod was so late. You usually get a lot of bombs from pod, and just because it was so late this seed that Never got there. And I got Mirror, I'm like, of course it's Mirror. And that would have let me get the Hera a lot faster. I like how he bombed the validation chest.
Absolutely.
After
a seed like this, the validation chest doesn't deserve it.
Hey, we know where everything is. There was one bottle in the lake that I didn't get, and of course the suit upgrade that I passed up on. That's everything.
Yeah, well, we do. Yeah.
There's nothing in that chest. I don't even think it's map or compass either. I'm pretty sure I picked them up.
Yeah, I think it's like the other green rupee.
And it's not even a single arrow. Oh, that's disappointing.
That's very true.
So one of the big differences between you and Dragon Master was you got those mitts earlier with the Eastern Palace play.
That was a tough call. I'm like, you got book, and I'm like, it feels like it wants me to go to desert, but there's also up to 5 or 6 items in Eastern. I'm like, let's just get this done real quick. And it's a pendant dungeon. Maybe I won't have to come back. So that actually paid off pretty well. Like I was happy with that.
And with the your opponent, he went to the top part of Skullwoods early on because that's the meme, right? It's version 26. Go to Skullwoods, and you saved that for way late, and that paid off this time.
This is the one time where you didn't really need. What did Mothula drop though? Didn't he?
Cain of Samaria.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The fifth boss to have an item. Yeah.
So there's always something in Skullwoods. You just sometimes you have to wait.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a spin-off of the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's just gonna be There's Always Something in Skullwoods.
You should pitch that for sure.
Seems pretty good.
I would watch that over Young Sheldon for sure.
Seems good.
Got the hot takes. Not quite getting Torch Glitch and really low on magic, but I think should still have a green potion in the back pocket if necessary. Getting the double on Ganon could have maybe... Oh, that's it. That's done.
That's it. That's 4.
Well played Ganon fight from Dragon Master, finishing strong.
So I noticed he only had Temper. Do you know which sword he missed?
He missed the one that was... It was the one you got as butter. The purple chest. Purple chest,
yeah, yes. Okay.
So we are going to get Dragon Master in here for an interview. I'm sure he'll have some things to say about this seed.
Hello, Dragon Master. How you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, GG.
GG, man.
This seed was sort of disgusting, wasn't it?
Didn't I call it before we started about Turtle Rock?
Oh my gosh, you're talking about that pedestal boots thing, and now this one is just like not much better.
No, it wasn't. My first mistake was Eastern. I didn't make the play to Eastern till last.
Yeah, they were telling me I was in there first and got the Titans early.
Yeah,
I saw those.
There's so many things. Like you had to. It's like you slowly had to do the dungeons one at a time just to get the next item for progression. It's. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the way it felt. I left a lot of Overworld just because I was in YOLO mode after that Death and Ice.
Yeah.
I also died on Cold Stare.
You both died to Cold Stare, and both missed out on the mirror, and then both left afterwards in frustration, or I don't know. Jet said it was frustration. I don't know, but
I was tilted.
Yeah.
Because after the Eastern mishap, and then that one, I was like, man, I'm gonna lose by half an hour. It's gonna be 2 hours.
I was thinking the same thing.
So I'm over here thinking I'm just gonna jump into every dungeon that comes along and screw the rest of the overworld.
Yeah. Yep. That was the actual play. And I wanted to do that, but I'm like, what if? So I actually did end up clearing a lot of stuff, but a lot of overworld. Actually, I think I did all of the overworld. I really didn't miss anything but dash boot locations.
I did go check Pedestal just because after the thing in Ice, I said, hey, watch it be Pedestal just because.
Yeah, you both totally did, and the Jet did it without the mirror, so like didn't combine it with Skull Woods, just straight up
I
like
didn't have the mirror either.
Yeah, into the Lost Woods, just like nope, we gotta go check it.
Yep. Yeah,
I
no,
just needed knowledge.
If I saw Ether, I was heading straight to Turtle Rock.
Yep.
And
Yep. We were all thinking the one thing you don't want to see right now is the Ether Medallion.
Partly, actually, I was hoping for the Ether Medallion just because I was hoping, okay, I'm just going to make the play to Turtle Rock regardless and hope it's there and make up some time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jet had already nailed it down to I think only Turtle Rock at that point, so no advantage gained by making that gamble, unfortunately.
Well, it's just so late. The way the seed, like, it gives you Flute so late, and then you get Ether so late. It was sort of ridiculous. That Ice Rod was like sitting in my pocket for so long.
That was just sitting there. It's like you don't expect the Ice Rod to just be, hey, laying out here. You don't have to kill Trinex at all.
Like, did you have a feeling when Ether dropped, like, it's just gonna be at Trinex? Like, that was my thought. It wasn't. It's in TR. It's at Trinex, but I'm gonna clear the whole dungeon.
I was definitely thinking Trinex just because I mentioned it prior to the seed that watch Trinex have an item, have the progression item. It's like I got the Ice Rod, and early it's like, oh, Trinex is not gonna be a thing. And then I saw his pennant. It's like, oh, Trinex is definitely not gonna be a thing.
Well, at least we don't have to blame ourselves.
I actually wanted to hop into pot earlier, but I was so broke.
Yeah.
Oh, rupees, yeah, the money was weird. I think all the rupees were like in pod, and no, they were in like
Turtle Rock.
All the
they were in
300
Turtle Rock. There
drops.
was 2 or 3 of them there. I think there was 1 in Mimic Cave and 2 in Turtle Rock.
I went so long without checking Zora. Like, I wanted to do it as soon as I got Flipper. Like, we got Flippers and Moon Pearl, like, in the same spot. And I'm like, okay, as soon as I get enough rupees, I'm going to visit Zora. But, like, I never had enough.
So
there was
DragonMaster...
easy way to farm it.
DragonMaster actually had that was one of the major route differences that maybe steered Dragon away from Eastern. Was earlier, he had the 500 rupees to go to Zora from...
How did you farm him?
I just got lucky on some 20 drops. I picked up all the 20s I could, and the last 20 in the Waterfall Cave gave me the last 20 I needed.
Yeah, there was a bunch. It was like a 50 and a 20 drop.
Yeah, the 502 crew rolling up on Zora and getting nothing. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that was like, I was expecting, okay, there's Flippers, there's got to be something over here. There's nothing.
Yeah, it gives you Flippers so early. And it's such a... This seed, it's funny, actually, the early game of the seed, because it gives you Ice Rod, it gives you Flippers, but you don't use them until, like, the last half of the game. You needed Flippers to get that bow.
Technically, Flippers to get into Ice Palace
and
to get the lamp kind of kicks things off pretty early on. So there's something.
So what are we going to take away from this seed as we're going forward?
Bring ample protection against Cold Stare.
Yeah, I had a red potion, but yeah, I made the bomb jump and then just fell off and hook shot back onto it and right into the hole.
Yeah.
So then I had to end up using my red potion. I would have had a red potion for Cold Stare.
Oh, that's what happened to your red potion.
Yeah, I fell after the bomb jump. I just hookshot him upwards instead of to the right.
Blast egg, that may in fact be the lesson.
Yeah. And then I had the cape ready to go, and I thought Cold Stare with Blue Mail only did 2 damage, not 3.
Yeah, we were talking about heart values, because I was like, I'm pretty sure his health just evaporated. He had 3 hearts. Does it do 3? I think it does 3. Man, that sucks, because...
I really thought it was 2, and that's why I didn't pop my cape. I was ready for the cape when I got down to 1 heart, because I had a green potion still in spare, because I was just going to go ham with the green potion.
You both made a mistake then, because Jet forgot he had the cape entirely and died with a full magic bar.
Full magic and only 1 cotton ball left.
Yeah, he was pretty much done with the fight. Oh, you got to go back and watch Jet's Cold Stare fight.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Oh no, it's so embarrassing.
No, but it's so good.
Good.
If I actually pulled it off, then yeah, maybe that would have been fine. But spoiler alert, I didn't pull it off.
I felt like all mine were looks. I got a lot of spins on each one of them.
Yeah.
Did you have Master Sword or Fighter still at that point?
Fighter Sword.
Okay, yeah, because I had to get Master up at Hera, so it was like, I wish I had this earlier.
Yeah, and the thing was, I got blocked pretty much everywhere I went. I went into desert. No, you're boot locked. Went up to Hera. No, you're fire locked.
So this was highly entertaining. So far as a viewer and a commentator. So in that regard, thank you very much to both you guys. The times don't look super impressive, but considering the context, I think they're actually pretty solid. Kept it pretty close. Just a couple situations that divided everything. The way it all shook out, and thank you so much for the interview, and congratulations, Jet, and good luck to both of you.
Thank
going
you.
Forward.
Thank you for commentating. Good luck, Dragon Master, in your next race.
I'll try. I gotta go 4 in a row now.
The charge begins.
Let the charge begin.
All right.
I believe in you.
So that is going to do it, I think. I'll take a quick glance at the schedule, but I can't imagine we're going to keep going with more at 1 in the morning. No, this is going to be the final match.
I think there might still be one running.
On Speed Gaming
possible
2,
ours ran longer than the other one.
It could be. We also did interviews for a while, but maybe something's finishing up on Speed Gaming 2. So you can check in there. But before you go, you should follow Speed Gaming 4. Follow the runners, commentators. I don't think we actually had the. Yeah, Clifford's on it. Got it twice even.
Nice.
There's our names too. I'm Mythical9. Thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, Mythical has been a pleasure, a true pleasure commentating with you. Thank you, Dustin, for pulling off the tracking today. That was amazing. And Clifford, of course, for the restream. Has a lot more resources than I have to be able to pull that one off.
Yeah, it's not easy, and he's got the full setup too. The commentator, restream, the whole shebang. Top notch job from Clifford on the back end of things. Dustin as well. So that's it. Go watch Speed Gaming 2 right now. Follow all the links in the chat if you want. I'm not going to force you.
And then, of course, we've got a whole lot more rando coming your way. 6 weeks or 4 weeks, and then there'll be more group stages and everything. There's a secondary tournament. We've got tons of rando. If you want to stick around and watch some rando, we're gonna have it.
Yeah, right here on Speed Gaming. Maybe not Speed Gaming 4, although honestly, I'm looking at the schedule, and yeah, probably Speed Gaming 1, 2, 3, 4. Here on Speed Gaming in general, and we do hope to see you then. Until next time, good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.